Good morning, everybody. Today is July 25th, 2026, and just doing a little quick little update on the on my garden. And it's been a probably about a good week, maybe a week and a half since we've had a good rain, and some of my plants are on the struggle bus. We had some high winds come through a few days ago. Raised some havoc with my potato plants and my beans. But thankfully, there is rain in the forecast, so I think everything will perk back up. I don't think anything is beyond repair at this point. But yeah, like I said, the taters, they took a beating from the winds. Plus, I think the redskin taters are actually maturing faster than my Yukons. So I think next year what I'm going to do is, this year I had mixed them together. I think next year I'm going to go ahead and separate them out, and that way I'll just have a row or two of the redskins and a row or two of the Yukons. The sunflowers are doing awesome. My Stockbridge beans are doing great. Napa cabbage looking good. I did finally separate those two, but it stunted that second one there pretty bad. This is one of the teepee trellises. As you can see, the beans are just loving it. They love crawling up that bad boy. And we do got some beans coming on here. My little cukies, these little picklers they're called. This is a sand up on the top of this hill. It's a little sandier, so they didn't really dig the soil, I think. Because the ones down over there are doing phenomenal, way better than these. These beans here are blue shakamakas or something around something like that. Again, I got those seeds from the tribal farm. But then those are my Stockbridge bean bushes, which I'm going to go ahead and let them go all the way and dry out. Those will be my dry beans that I'll use over winter, cooking up with a nice venison roast, or maybe a squirrel or rabbit, grouse. Ooh, I don't know, we'll see. Anyways, one of my favorite parts here is sunflower is blooming nicely. Again, some more Stockbridge beans. This is that emergency trellis I had to put up because I had the idea that the sunflowers would work as a great trellis for my string beans, which you can see are coming along nicely here. I probably got to pick those ones. Again, I think those are the blue shakamakas, something like that. Anyways, the beans were outgrowing the trellis, the natural trellis, the sunflowers here. So I had to quick throw up a trellis, which, as you can see, I'm trellising my tomatoes, and they're coming along really nice. And it's kind of interesting here. If you look really close, you can see that I angled it, right? I angled the lines for the trellis lines for these tomatoes in the hopes that the fruit will actually hang down on this side, kind of letting gravity work with me, so I make it a little easier to pick, maybe. I don't know. But they're definitely doing phenomenal. I wouldn't change a thing about it. And again, those poles were just dead trees hanging out in the swamp area over there, the cedar swamps. And it's all just dead trees that I cut down, shaved the bark off, and put them in the ground. People say, well, they're going to rot pretty fast in the ground like that. That's fine if that happens, and I just go over there and I get some more. Not a big deal. Nasterium is coming along nice. So these are the little picklers down at the bottom of that sandy hill. And you can tell the difference in soil, I think. They were fed the same, fertilized the same, everything the same, watered the same. But by far, oh well, I guess the big difference is instead of, so up there I just did the little picklers by themselves, and then in the middle was the beans. Here I kind of mixed them together. So not all of my cucumber seeds sprouted. So in those little gaps, I just put some bean seeds. So now they're all kind of growing together up this thing. Ooh, I see a nice pickle here. I actually got a pick. So in a little bit here, I'm gonna start like within an hour, I'm gonna start canning or making some little baby dills. So a funny story. When I put up this 10-foot bean trellis, I thought, wow, I really overdid it. Yeah, my bean plants are saying, yeah, no, you could have gone 15-20 feet if you wanted. Maybe I should have. But yeah, so lesson learned there. You know, if you go a nice vertical trellis with your beans, they'll go as high as you let them. Again, Nasturtium's blooming nicely. My more tomatoes. These ones are really coming along real nice, real nice. And again, just a simple string trellis. These here are they're like a Mexican bush tomato, I guess. I don't really recall. It was, again, one of those dollar store finds. I think the seeds were, I don't know, 50 cents or a quarter a packet, something like that. So that's what those are. This here was a row of my little seedlings that I tried to start, and I kind of baked them in the sun this spring and so they didn't make it. So now every time I cut off one of the suckers, like from this kind of an area, some of them have been pretty big, and I just would hate to kill, you know, a good tomato plant. So I stick them in the ground. This is one of those. These are some more. So I'm gonna have tomatoes coming out my ears, but hey, I'll do canning, right? These are looking nice. That white stuff is diatomaceous earth. So I've been using neem oil and diatomaceous earth to keep the bugs away. Seems to be working. Plus I use marigolds and Nasturtium, and then the sunflowers as well. Seems to be working. You know, fingers crossed. We'll just keep rolling. Look at this one. This is one of my cherry tomatoes here. Whoo-wee, there's gonna be a few there. That I'm really excited for, because it's one of my favorite recipes. You take the cherry tomatoes. First you get your cast iron skillet just scorching hot, and then you throw those cherry tomatoes in there. Pretty soon they start popping and juicing. Once they're all popped open and whatnot, then you throw in a stick of butter, swirl her around, let her simmer a little bit. It'll thicken into a real nice sauce. Add some garlic and oregano if you want, and then I pour that over spaghetti. Ooh, spaghetti noodles, yum yum, very good stuff. What else can I show you here? I suppose some more sunflowers. My wall of sunflowers. They say, you know, sunflowers are like a positive energy kind of a deal. Well, there we go. There's my there's the road, and there's the front of my property. I've got a nice wall of sunflowers here. Keep all that negativity out from the outside world, and the old Mohican Sky homestead will absolutely have positive vibes on this side. And again, I got more sunflowers pop there. Got another one here. You'll see here too, I've also, for security, and by security I mean trying to protect myself and my plants from the deer that are abundant around here, the white-tailed deer. Those are solar powered motion detected lights, and they just, you know, as soon as they detect motion, pow, they hit whatever it is with a a whole bunch. I think there's 300 and some LED little lights in there or something like that, but it's bright as all get out. Bought those off of Amazon. Yeah, phenomenal. As soon as the deer see that, they're gone. They don't stick around. I've got them all around inside the garden as well, just again to keep those animals out. Seems to be working for now. Sure, at some point, you know, they'll get used to it and I'll have to switch tactics up. But so yeah, that's kind of the big garden update for now on Mohican Sky. I'm really gonna try and push myself to get this foundation going. It feels like a monumental task to have to dig out that for my slab and to rough in the utilities and whatnot. But again, I can't afford to pay to have somebody do it, so I'm gonna have to do it myself. And it's just a matter of lighting a fire under my own ass and getting moving here. You know, I think if I really apply myself, I could have her done in a week, maybe 2 weeks, you know. But once that slab is poured, well, now I can start building, right? And then that's where things move along, I think, a little quicker. That's where I have more confidence in myself, and I'm more excited to get going with that. But we'll see. All right, well, thanks for watching. Later.